turning into reality. As Samsung unveiled their first ever Galaxy Fold to the world, other smartphone manufacturers jumped to bring their own version of the foldable display device. Smartphone manufacturers like Huawei and Motorola brought their own version of foldable phones, which are now available on the market, while others like LG and Microsoft brought dual display folding phones as their version of a folding phone. Meanwhile, companies like Xiaomi, Oppo, and TCL have also teased their own version of foldable devices. The proposition of foldable display phones is that you get a regular smartphone as well as a tablet whenever you require it. With all these companies working on foldable display devices, there are lots of rumors and speculations surrounding when Apple is going to bring its own foldable device. Hey everyone, I'm Chaser and you're watching Tech Square. In this video, we'll try to explore whether Apple would bring its iteration of foldable display phones, and if they do, when is it going to come? While everyone is working on to bring their own version of foldable devices, the foldable display technology is far away from perfection. When Samsung released its first version of the Galaxy Fold, a lot of people accidentally broke their display by ripping a plastic on its display, which was in fact a part of the display. Since the display is ultra-thin glass that can bend, it's very delicate. The Galaxy Fold 2, rumored to be released alongside Note 20, apparently won't feature S Pen support as the display can't withstand the pressure of S Pen, and Samsung couldn't develop a cover glass that can be folded while withstanding the pressure. This indicates that the foldable or bendable display technology has yet to reach perfection, and Apple isn't very big on being the early adopter of any technology. Historically, Apple adopts new technologies when it reaches a position to offer stable and reliable performance. In a podcast by Bloomberg from July 2015, NYU marketing professor Scott Galloway explained how Apple has enjoyed the second mover advantage over the years. In Galloway's word, Apple has been second at most stuff. They're not a true innovator in the definition of the word. They weren't the first into object-oriented computing or the mouse. They weren't the first MP3 player, they weren't the first mobile phone. But they look at something, they improve upon it, weigh it, and they come in and make it more user-friendly. Apple is dependent on companies like Samsung, LG, BOE, and others for their displays on their iPhone. Since companies are yet to perfect bendable display technology, I don't think Apple will invest their money on a foldable display device. I have mentioned earlier that the main value proposition of the foldable display phone is to provide users a device that can offer them a bigger display when they require it in a small footprint. Now, even though Apple does not have a device like that, however, they do have a great line of products that meet the bigger display requirements of users. Their iPad lineup is filled with options like that. Apple's recent iPad Pro can even double as a laptop when used alongside the Magic Keyboard. Now, if Apple brings a foldable display device, it can confuse consumers, as they'll be left questioning which device to get. Should they have an iPhone and iPad to meet their requirements, or they should get the foldable device that can double as both? Then there comes the question of which OS to use on the device. Should the foldable device use iOS or iPadOS? iPads ran on iOS from their inception with added support for the larger device to the operating system. But with time, iPads started to bring features that resembled more on the macOS than iOS. In 2019, Apple separated iPadOS from iOS with greater emphasis on multitasking. So the question remains, should Apple use iPadOS on their foldable device or use standard iOS? How the newly separated iPadOS will work on a smaller display phone is also another question. Apple always tries to offer a seamless experience to their customers, and whether the standard iOS is capable of providing that seamless transition between folded and unfolded screen also needs to be answered. This means there are a lot of things that need to be figured out before Apple brings their version of a foldable device, and all that requires time. There is also the question of fitting the product into an already established product line. Apple's product lineup is more organized than ever. In their product offering, they already have several products for every user case scenario with price disparity that makes more sense. If you need a mobile communicator, get an iPhone. If you need a bigger display and multitasking capable device, then you can get an iPad. For more power in a bigger display, you can get the MacBook Air. If you require even more power, then you have the MacBook Pro devices. There are iMacs and Mac Pro for your desktop requirements. A foldable display device will only disrupt that order. Not only that, but it could also eat away sales of iPhones and iPads. While Apple's business model is to make people buy more of their products, foldable iPhone will do the opposite of what they're trying to do, which makes absolutely no sense. But that doesn't mean rumor mills are not churning about Apple's foldable display phones. Based on patents filed by Apple, many are speculating that the foldable iPhone may come as early as 2020. But companies file patents every year of their feature techs. Not all of those techs sees the light of the day. So patent filing doesn't mean companies are actively working on a tech. A patent for flexible display may not mean Apple is working on a foldable iPhone, rather the tech could end up somewhere else. However, this also does not mean Apple will not bring a foldable iPhone. Apple could release a foldable iPhone or iPad as a luxury device. In 2017, Apple announced the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus devices as a direct upgrade to their iPhone 7 series devices, while they also introduced the iPhone X as a sort of luxury lifestyle device. Apple has been a premium brand for so long, but with a price tag of $999, it was Apple's attempt to market the device as a luxury phone. And foldable phones can be a luxury device as well if the Samsung Z Flip is any indication. However, even if Apple goes into that direction of making any foldable iPhone, it may take them another year or more before launching the actual product for the reasons we have mentioned earlier. For now, Apple is focused on making an ARM-powered MacBook, shifting towards mini LED technology and mixed reality AR Apple Glass. So that's all we have for today's video. If you liked our video, then hit the like and share with your friends. Comment below to let us know your thoughts on Apple's foldable device feature. Consider subscribing to our channel